Hark, fair listeners, and welcome to Stone by Stone, an Edgewater Castle podcast. I'm Lauren Hall, and I am thrilled to be your guide on this episode as we traverse the fair field of football in all its many facets. We'll be uncovering tales, insights, and personal journeys from some truly remarkable souls, and we'll hear how football has become a crucial part of their lives, like a carefully stitched emblem upon a fine, heraldic banner. A most sincere thanks to Tightrope Recording for the top-notch sound engineering, and to you, our most valued listeners. We thank thee for joining us on this grand adventure. So settle in, get some glog in your goblet, and welcome to Stone by Stone. Hello, everybody. My name is Lauren Hall. Welcome back to Stone by Stone. I am a member of the Edgewater Castle women's soccer team. We are here with a very special guest. Very special. Kellyn Acosta. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
I heard you were very busy today.
Somewhat. First day of preseason training, so that was a blast, to say the least.
First day.
Fitness test and all. So straight off of a fitness test and training to here to hang out with you. So
wow.
Excited to be here.
Guys, that is very impressive. And how did the fitness test go?
Yeah, as good as you would think. I think it could have gone a little bit better, but it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Always room for improvement.
Exactly.
I like it. All right, so we're just going to get into it. I mean, this question I was probably going to save for later, but I just want to, it's like at the top of my mind here. Why, how, what brought you here? Edgewater Castle, you're on our podcast. How did we land such a good interview? Go. Start from the beginning. Yes.
Well, I moved to Chicago. I was a free agent, and
when?
This was this past year. We're in 2025 now.
We are.
So 2024.
Okay.
So I was going through the process of free agency of what team I was going to be involved in, and I chose the Chicago Fire. And so right when I moved here, I got a bunch of messages from a lot of folks, and there was one key message on Instagram from a familiar guy you may know, Andrew Swanson.
He slid in the DMs.
He did slid in my DMs. I happened to read it. It actually took me some months to respond because it was just a whirlwind for me.
Oh yeah,
a lot going on, and he was just speaking about who he is, what he does. He was previously with the Chicago Fire, so I felt somewhat familiar with him because he mentioned the Fire and about his mission and what he's involved with in the organization and such. And it wasn't until I don't know some months later that I just revisited the message and I reached back to him. I was like, let's connect. And just from him, just his personality and his enthusiasm and how much passion he has for Edgewater, I was like, this guy's I got to just talk with him further. And then I came out to training. I got to meet you at training this past year. And I'm like, yeah, it's a place I want to be a part of. And
it's a vibe.
Definitely. It was a lot of fun. We actually went to dinner right before that, so he's a cool guy. I got to know him, over the past few months, and like to call him as a friend as well. So it's been a cool journey, and I'm looking forward to obviously speaking with you today, and then being part of the season as well.
Yeah, we'll go over that more in detail later.
Yeah,
we'll tease that a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, Andrew does have his way of just slithering right in there.
Yeah, he does. He
right in the heart.
That's
what a
right.
guy.
Hits the feels.
Yeah, he sure does. So you're not from Chicago.
I am not.
We know this. You're actually from Plano, Texas.
That's right.
Okay. So tell me about your upbringing in Texas. Tell me about soccer specifically. What was the soccer world like out there? I know I'm from Chicago, or the suburbs of Chicago, as we talked about before this. Texas was always our hardest opponent.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll first off by saying Texas is the best place on earth.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm one of those.
Cut it.
I'm one of those. No, but yeah. If people don't know where Plano is, like a northern suburb of Dallas. The soccer scene was great. I mean, soccer was my first sport, my first love. And it was a sport that I started playing when I was, I think, 4 or 5 years old, and I just excelled at a young age and found a lot of success. And when you're good at something, you want to continue with it and get better. And I've had the opportunity to be coached by some great people that I still talk to this day, and they've been mentors and to me, and they made me
Still
just really love the game. Still to this day, really love the game. And like you mentioned, Texas is what they could say maybe a powerhouse, if you will.
Yeah.
In terms of just
I don't know
the talent
what they
that
feed
comes
you
out.
guys there.
Me neither.
The girls were always huge.
Yeah.
Like twice the size of us.
Yeah, the girls teams were very good, but it's kind of funny because soccer's not as big as you would think in Texas as it is like American football. Football first, and I was kind of an anomaly because I was like I love soccer. Football, I didn't really care for it. I played it, but I was just kind of just doing it because that's just what people did.
Right. It's a Texas way.
But no, but soccer had my heart, and it was just a sport that since the age of 4 all the way to now being 29, I mean, I've been playing it for 25 years and counting.
Wow. Okay. So who brought you to a soccer field?
Yeah, it's kind of a debate in my family. Everyone wants to take ownership of who brought me where, from my mom, my dad, my grandparents. So I don't know. I'll just say we all carpooled, and they dropped me off there. And I mean, I think it was the best decision that they made was bringing me onto a soccer field and giving me a soccer ball.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much in the house because I used to break things all the time. I broke literally everything.
It's just par for the course.
Yeah, paid it forward, right? Yeah.
My sister and I both grew up playing soccer, and it just like was in our blood. My dad played soccer growing up, so it's just interesting. I always like to see like where did the love start? Did someone else in the family love soccer first? Did they push that on you? I don't know if push it on you is the right way, but did anybody else play soccer in your family?
I mean, they did not. I wouldn't say that at a high level. Maybe just like some elementary, high school type, and then. My parents played in like a co-ed league. I wouldn't say they were.
Your parents played in a co-ed league
at early days.
Together?
Yeah, they did. They're divorced now, but
okay, but it's still sweet.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhat sweet. So basically, they would be playing.
Somewhat.
Yeah, it's your parents, right? Somewhat sweet. Yeah. But I was basically just out of indoor soccer facility all the time. So I was just playing constantly, and I had all my friends there. I just loved it.
Love that. No other sports. A little bit of football, but not really.
Basketball, football, ran track. Kind of did a few others.
Of course. They were like, wow, you can run. Come.
Yeah, I was athletic. I had the different attributes and characteristics. So it's like, let's throw you into some other sports too and see what sticks.
Of course. So when you were starting to play and really explore as you were growing as a player, I always like to ask like little kids like, what position do you play? And none of them know what it means. Or you're like, do you score goals or do you defend?
Everyone likes just to score goals.
So is that what your thing was?
Yes. Because like scoring goals, like just that excitement, enjoyment, everyone's cheering. I mean, you might get like a pat on the back, good job for a tackle, but like scoring goals is a different thrill. So for me, that was what I wanted to do growing up, especially.
Yeah. I was a big assister.
There we go. Sister cool too, but no one gets as much excitement and enjoyment as actually putting the ball in the net.
That's interesting coming from a holding midfielder.
I know. I mean, times have changed, I would say. I enjoy what I play now, but I'm saying early days, I'm like, I want to score 30 goals in a game.
Amen. I like it. I like this. Okay, we talked about your family a little bit. Did you face any unique challenges Did your family face any unique challenges in supporting you and your aspirations as a player? Was there any obstacles that you faced growing up playing soccer or your family?
Obstacles? I mean, just getting me to and from practice was not like the easiest thing. I had to either like carpool with someone or my grandparents would have to take me to practice, or my dad would have to hit a late lunch to then take me halfway for someone to pick me up to take me to so they found a way, and I have to commend them to getting me to training, or my coach or his wife Daisy would help me as well. I mean, it was kind of just a combined effort from a lot of different parties that got me. The Chavezes, I used to, sometimes my dad couldn't take me to games, I would stay at their house and they would take me to the games. I mean, or even my coach at the time stay at his house. Like there was,
They were like, Kellyn's playing.
yeah, we're gonna find a way to get him to training and to get him to games.
Wow.
And yeah, like I said, it was a team effort, so
It sounds like you had
super
a
grateful.
very supportive circle around you.
I did. I don't know why they did at that capacity, but I'm forever grateful.
They were like, he scores goals.
Yeah.
And,
Something like that.
Texans, they like to win.
I mean, don't we all, right?
Yeah.
We play to win.
Yeah. What about personal challenges? You are what they call a professional soccer player. What are some challenges that you faced? I know that it's been a long journey, career.
Yeah.
Any specific challenges that you had to overcome to get to where you are right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it even goes back to my early days, because if you don't know my background, my heritage, I'm actually Japanese as well. So
yes.
I have my father was born in Japan. My
Yeah.
grandma was full Japanese. My dad's half. Japanese was his first language. And so just in school, my whole dynamic, my family was a bit weird in a sense.
Explain about the weird.
Because obviously by the looks, I'm African American.
Yeah.
I have a dad that looks, white, Asian.
Yeah.
And then I have a Hispanic last name.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
so people are like, what's going on here? And then
Yeah.
sometimes, like if my grandma would pick me up from school to take me to practice, they would be like, is that your babysitter? That's
Yeah.
your nanny? That sort of thing. And then being in Texas, everyone liked American football. So I was wearing soccer jerseys and tight soccer pants. So I was just a walking anomaly, really.
Yeah.
I did things out of the norm.
Yeah.
And people didn't really understand that. And so I was kind of just fighting at a young age for just identity and to fit in, because that's why I mentioned I played American football, even though I didn't like it, but that's what people did. And so I was just trying to just like be like everyone else.
Right.
So I found some difficulty in that growing up.
Yeah, I'm also biracial. I'm half Latina.
Okay.
Which everyone's face is like, huh?
Yeah.
You don't look it.
That's what people say. Like, oh, you're that? Are you sure? And you have to like show a picture.
And then you're like,
why would I make that up?
pulling up the picture of my family and being like, this is my sister. She has darker skin. This is my mom. She has light skin. And just like that very simple like conversation you've had to have with people for so long of like, I know I don't look it, but I swear I am it. And I know my last name doesn't match what I am, but
it's the fact that you have to explain yourself for what you are, like, doesn't make sense to me, and it's annoying and redundant.
It's confusing.
It's confusing, and it's just like, why is it? I don't ask you like, oh, they're like, these are my parents. I'm like, are you sure? Like, they kind of look like you, but not really. Like, no, you don't do that. So why you have to do that with me? That's why I never understood why people acted that way.
Yeah, no, it's difficult. It causes a lot of identity issues.
For sure.
But it seems like you also you have to have a certain amount of confidence to be comfortable in your skin and be the person that is a little bit of the other, as you're saying, like not even just like being multiracial, but also like being the soccer player that's like, seems like you, I mean, we'll talk about this a little bit later, like your interest in style. I'm sure that came very early and just kind of, walking your own path. So I commend you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Commend you for sure. It takes a lot of confidence and bravery at a young age for people to deal with those interesting conversations.
No, for sure. I mean, I think it takes time. I mean, at a young age, you don't quite understand. You're just going through life to try to enjoy it for what it is day by day. Looking back on it, I'm like, that was tough for me, but it shaped me to the person I am today. So, I mean, I'm grateful for it.
Amen.
That's right.
I wanted to talk to you specifically because we were going to get to this later, but what a great segue to lead into you. I was reading a wonderful Wikipedia page about you today.
Okay.
Actually, it was yesterday, so I planned ahead.
There we go.
So you are Japanese, Puerto Rican.
I'm not Puerto Rican. I don't know where people got that from.
Put that in the Wikipedia page?
I mean, anyone can edit it. I could be from anywhere. I mean, I've gotten, are you Puerto Rican, Dominican, Colombian, Mexican? And I'm like, I'm neither.
Are you telling me the Wikipedia is
wrong.
Not a trusted source?
So basically, my Hispanic last name comes from my dad's stepdad.
Got it.
Who's Mexican
Okay.
American.
Got it.
So that's where it comes from. But people just automatically assume that I'm
Of course.
like Colombian or something.
Of course.
Which I'm like, I mean, sometimes I just run with it because I just don't want to explain to them the whole situation.
Yeah.
So I just kind of just make it up and I say I'm from like Medellin or somewhere. And they're like, oh, okay, cool.
Okay, great. Now you guys all know.
Right.
So Japanese and American. You could have played for Japan or the United
Correct.
States on a national team.
Right.
I am Honduran and American. I chose to get a dual citizenship in Honduras and play for Honduras
Nice.
many years ago. What made you decide? I mean, I was talking a little bit with Tom about like, I know that you have to choose a team and you can't play in a non-friendly game. Like once you play in a non-friendly.
Yeah, once you make the switch, you like you're kind of, and if you're playing in a competitive match, you're locked in.
Okay.
You can do a one-time switch based upon different circumstances.
Yeah.
But for me, I mean, the U.S. is home. It's all I know.
Yeah.
From the culture to everyday life, and so it was kind of a no-brainer for me. No question. I mean, playing for Japan didn't even really cross my mind. But yeah, I mean, the U.S. is, like I said, it's home.
Yeah, I love that. So what was the first year that you started training with the men's national team? Because I know they started with youth.
Oh, the youth. So yeah. I was part of this program called ODP. So
ODP.
So I went through the whole cycle. So I went from state team to region camp to national camp, and the national camp to national team. So I went through all the stages and then I went from U14 all the way to the senior team.
Yeah. Were you on the national team from U14?
Yeah, U14. I did U14, U15, U17. I did U17 World Cup, U18s. I did 2 U20 World Cups. And then our Olympic team didn't qualify, and then I was on the senior team.
Wow.
So
you were that kid that was on the ODP national team like all those years.
Yeah. I don't know what that kid means, but I was part of that.
Okay, let me clarify here. I'm coming from a place where I also played ODP. I played for a big soccer club, Eclipse, growing up. I don't know if you knew who Eclipse was.
I'm familiar. Now being here, I'm familiar with like the local teams.
We played against the Dallas Texans all of the time.
Okay, yeah.
And I just remember having this like jealousy and being in like the ODP whole system and state camp and regional camp, and I occasionally played for different states as a reserve on a different state, and I was always very curious about like the experience at such a young age playing it. Like it just seemed like such a big deal to play for like the national team. Like what was that experience like?
I mean, it was a huge deal. I think for me, just going through the whole process, I mean, it was difficult in a sense. It went from being like local to even region camp. For me, it was hard for me even to get there, just to have the money to be able to travel to get to region camp. Like,
where was your guys' region camp?
I want to say it was like in like Alabama or Mississippi or something like that.
Yeah.
So being there cost money, and my family, it wasn't like the easiest thing to just throw some money out there for maybe, for no reason, maybe. And then
something that there wasn't a lot.
It wasn't guaranteed. Like you don't know if this is a scam, is this real? Do people really go through the steps? But it was a chance.
Yeah.
And, that chance brought me to the next level, to the national team, and for me, I was just enjoying playing. I didn't really realize what it meant to be on the national team until I played in a World Cup, into the U17 World Cup, and I was part of the residency program at IMG, that I realized that this is a little bit different. Like it's like I'm playing against other countries.
Yeah.
Their fans are screaming at me, cussing at me. I'm 14, 15 at the time.
Yeah.
I'm just like kind of just taking it all in. I'm like, this is national team ball. This is different. This is cool.
And
I'm
you're
enjoying
young.
this. And I'm young, and I'm just taking it all in.
Yeah. I think that was always like my curiosity, is like we didn't know what it meant to be like on a national team at that age. So it was always so interesting to me for people that were playing at such a high level at such a young age.
Right.
So you were playing with people from all over the country at this point, if you're on the
Correct.
national team. fast forward a few years and you're playing year after year and you're playing in U20 and like the full selection. Did you grow up playing with some of these guys?
In
like ODP?
No. You're talking about that made it all the way through?
Yeah.
So there was a couple guys on my U17 team that went all the way through with me. But beyond that, I don't even think those other guys even play anymore.
That's interesting.
It's crazy how that works. I mean, even guys that I played with at the professional level, are retired.
Wow.
And, their careers were short-lived. And it's it's pretty crazy to think about.
We just dedicate so much of our time and our lives and our resources to go into it. It's just such a crazy experience and thing, like youth soccer. I mean, it does not come cheap.
No. I was blessed by my coach and giving me a scholarship to play. Otherwise, soccer is super expensive.
It is crazy expensive.
Yeah, and traveling. I mean, I couldn't go to a lot of the places that required traveling because my family couldn't necessarily afford it at the time.
Yeah.
So either I had a carpool, or if it was drivable, we would drive.
Wow. Cool. Okay. I took a tangent to different questions, so we'll come back in here. Fashion and personal style. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You're known for I can't say this. You're unique. You are known for your unique style and fashion choices. In fact, 41 Mag just named you the #1 most stylish men's player in the CONCACAF. Did you know
region? Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that was like a month ago. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a big deal. How would you describe your personal style aesthetic?
Just on the day-to-day, or just generally speaking?
Both.
Well, day-to-day, like if I'm going to the locker room, I'm usually like in a sweatsuit. Kind of how you caught me when I was at the training ground, like in a matching sweatsuit. I think it's just sleek, It's clean, it's presentable.
The first time I met him, he came to one of our trainings and he had like a perfectly matched like 80s style, like what's that swishy material called? You know what I'm talking about.
I know, I don't remember what sweatsuit it is. I have a few.
It was a matching set, and I was like, who is that guy?
I probably looked crazy.
It's okay. You looked put together.
Well, I appreciate that. That's the whole point of a sweatsuit, right?
Matching sweats in general is a whole new level of put together.
Well, there we have it.
So there's your locker room style.
Yeah, and so just, off the field, I try to be authentic to who I am, and I pride myself on being versatile. So I like having versatility with what I'm wearing, whether it's from streetwear to tailored looks to suiting. So I do a combo of all the different things for walk-ins to... I do some shoots and stuff as well for different brands and all that. So,
what are some of the brands you work with?
Like in the past, nothing so much recent, but in the past I've worked with a bunch of different brands.
Is there anyone you're working with now?
I mean, the biggest brand right now that I'm putting a lot of my focus is the brand Lotto.
Tell us more.
Yeah, Lotto is an Italian brand that's been around since I think the 1960s. I mean, their craftsmanship is huge. It's a brand that's just high quality and super unique. And I had the opportunity to sign with them this past year in 2024, and it's actually a brand that was my first cleat. So it's kind of like a full circle moment to be able to be part of the brand again. And the relationship has been great thus far, and I'm looking forward to what this year brings. I think there's going to be a lot of fun things in the work coming.
So Lotto has a lot of really cool like retro designs.
It does.
I really love all of their streetwear, their like soccer wear and all this fun stuff.
Right, from collars from Netherlands to AC Milan. I mean, they've had Romania, quite a few.
Yeah.
Tracksuit shoes, and now they're coming into this year and being innovative and cool and back in the forefront again. I think there's gonna be some cool stuff. I pride myself on being cool, and they epitomize that. I think they're really obviously they're really well known in Europe, and I think they're making strides here in the US. Or at least they're attempting to bridge the gap more so.
Yeah. Speaking of US, this is a small tangent and about your soccer career. All of your experience has been in America.
Correct.
Have you been interested in playing overseas?
Yeah, I think I've always been vocal about playing in overseas, and I've had some opportunities too. They just didn't come in fruition, with different variables out of my control.
Right.
But that was always a dream of mine, and I don't know. I mean, I'm still 29, still have a lot to give, so who knows what could happen in the future.
You're a young little spring chicken.
That's right. But it's always been a dream of mine, goal of mine. So we'll see where that is. But right now, I'm happy being here in Chicago.
That. Yeah. So. Man, I know we're supposed to be talking about your style, but now I just keep coming up with better questions. Chicago, you were a free agent when you signed with the Fire.
Correct.
First of all, to all of us that don't know a lot about this whole system, what does it mean? I understand free agent. What does it mean to be a free agent? What is the process like? Is it actually fully your choice? Are you working with someone else to choose what you're going to do next?
No, so free agency is like somewhat new for the league. They didn't really have a free agency in a sense. So for me, you have to I think the ruling is you have to be at least 25 years old and 5 years of service. And so I've been in the league for, I don't know, 12 years now, and I'm 29. So time flies.
What?
Time flies.
Wait, since you were 17?
I signed at 16. Yeah. Before my 17th birthday.
You were playing professional soccer since you were 16?
Yes.
Okay. That's incredible and scary at the same time. I was
thrown out there with grown men. People that were like
16.
double my age. Yeah. It was pretty crazy.
Wow. Okay. Sorry. Go back. You've been doing this for a while. You know what you're doing.
Yes.
Okay. 12 years.
Free agency.
Yes.
So going through the process, so I was in LA at the time. I knew my contract was up at the end of the year, and I knew I was going to be looking for different options. So there's like a list comes out, people are aware of my situation, so I have the opportunity to speak to any teams around the league, and whoever's interested, I speak with them and go from there. And then so the moment that like free agency opened, Chicago rang. And so just from the first minute until the day that I signed, I mean, they were applying all the pressure, and they wanted me so bad that I just couldn't refuse. From the front office to even Joe Mansueto was giving me a call, to Frank Klopas was calling me. I did a tour here. They flew me out from Dallas to Chicago. I toured the whole city, the training ground, Soldier Field.
That's why you know all the streets.
I don't know all the streets, but I know the main ones. I know like Michigan Ave.
Good job.
There we go. So yeah, I toured everything, and I'm like, man, because for me, I didn't spend a lot of time in Chicago. Mm-hmm. So I mean, for predominantly my career, I was on the west side of the U.S. I was in Dallas to Denver to L.A.
Yeah,
and so we didn't really play in Chicago all that much. So I think the last time I played in Chicago was in 2016. I played in the All-Star game versus Real Madrid. Mm-hmm. So I think that was the last time I was here. And so
subtle drop there.
Yeah, so that was the last time I was here, and I just remember just then I was like, I really like this city, but I never experienced it. And so just the short time I was here, I just really enjoyed myself. I'm like, I could see myself living here.
What are your top five things that you loved about Chicago? Just things. It could be food, it could be places, it could be people, it could be experiences.
I mean, you just named. You talking about just generally speaking?
Yeah, like what are your top five things?
Well, food. I mean, it's a huge food scene, and it's a city that I feel like being here, people know how big of a food scene it is, but on the outside looking in, you're not familiar with how many different restaurants there are here and how great they are.
Yes. So and from all different places.
From everywhere.
Yeah.
And the different neighborhoods and different pockets have different food that's just all so great.
Yeah. Our food is really good.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that bit. Just how clean and nice downtown is, and scenic too, from the river to the lakefront. And I'm like, there's like a beach here too, and there's city, and there's water, and there's, and then also I had to hear about, Summertime Shy, the best place on earth, this, that. I'm like, okay, everyone said that. I wasn't sure. I was just going off people's words. So It was great. It was nice.
Yeah.
I honestly, I didn't take advantage like I should have, but
Well, you're
I
probably
enjoyed
working, right?
I was
Yeah.
working, but it was nice.
Yeah. There's nothing like summertime shy. It's a good time. Have you jumped into Lake Michigan yet?
I have not.
What?
Is that a thing?
Yes.
No, I mean the closest I've been to I did. My girlfriend and I we rented a sailboat and watched the fireworks for my birthday.
Okay.
So that's the only time I've been on Lake Michigan, but other than that, no.
Okay, no. You have to jump into Lake Michigan. We can talk about that later.
Is it safe?
Yes, it's safe.
Everyone just says there's
Don't jump in the river.
Okay, it was the river.
It's the river.
Okay.
We don't jump in the river. You got to go to the harbor.
Okay.
Like Montrose Harbor, jump into the lake. Don't worry.
Okay.
We wouldn't lead you astray.
We'll see.
Don't jump into the river. Though.
Okay. Now that I know.
Disgusting. Oh, this is a good question. We're going to go back to fashion. We're going back to fashion now, everybody.
Hey, we're here and
Yes.
we're there and we're everywhere.
I guess how does your we're here, we're there, we're everywhere. Isn't that a saying for something?
I don't know, but if it's not, I just trademarked it on the spot.
Copyright. Your sense of style. I guess we could also point this to Lotto, since Lotto is your most recent connection. How does that reflect your personality, or I guess just you?
How does the brand reflect my personality?
Minus Lotto. How about let's redo this. How does your fashion taste reflect your personality, your identity, who you are?
Well, I'm just all about being just put together and wearing things that suits me. I mean, I feel like I'm a versatile player. I mean, I grew up playing all positions, and so for me, when it goes into being in fashion, I like to wear everything and all different things. And so I hit up on tailored looks to streetwear to sweatsuits to athleisure to suiting, tailor. I mean, all that. So
he cannot be pigeonholed.
Correct.
That is what I'm
hearing. You cannot
hearing.
put handcuffs on me. I can wear just about anything.
Has Chicago inspired your style at all?
I guess since it's been so cold,
it has to.
I went from not. So let me backtrack. So in Colorado, I had a bunch of ski wear, jackets, this and that and the other. And when I moved to LA, I'm like, I don't need any of this.
I lived in LA for 4 years, and I threw away all of my jackets, all of my gloves.
Correct.
And I moved back, and I was like, what did I do?
Yep. And that's where I was when I moved here. And so I didn't own anything. So I had to go out and buy everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was fun for me. I like to shop. So it's all right, perfect.
Yeah.
It worked out. It worked out. But I'm just man, what a mistake. I had, some cool stuff in Colorado, but yeah, all gone.
Yeah. I think people forget sometimes. I know we're not Canada, but
I mean, it's pretty cold here.
It's specifically.
I was so spoiled to them being I'm shoveling snow in the morning and, I'm having to start my car before I have to leave. So it's, heated when I can drive off and
turn on those seat warmers.
Yeah, all that. I'm like, man, this is just a different life. But I like having seasons. So I actually like having the different seasons. I don't mind the cold so much.
Yeah.
But just when it gets icy.
Yeah. I think you start to appreciate something when it's gone.
Right.
And it's that much sweeter when it comes back.
Correct.
So springtime chai is actually pretty great too.
It's not. So that's kind of ish when I moved.
Right.
So it was February, March. Yeah. So it was somewhat cold, but not too bad.
You're about to experience your first full year of
But
Chicago.
I mean, we're gone for the next couple months, I would say. So I don't
rub
even
it in our faces.
So I don't even get to experience the winter, but springtime will come around.
Don't rub it in our faces. You're going to be out training in warmer places is what I hear.
Yes, West Palm Beach and Palm Springs. So not too bad.
So Florida and California.
California.
Okay, and then you're going to come back here and you start your season when?
February 22nd. It's away we play away at Columbus first. I think our first game is March 1st or March 2nd.
And where are you guys playing?
At Soldier Field.
Okay. Every single home game is at Soldier Field.
I believe so.
You didn't say that like you were very sure.
I know, but you asked me before.
I know, I'm
that.
making him
I'm
nervous.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Favorite designers or brands? Do you have any favorite designers?
I kind of just fluctuates based upon the season.
Yeah.
I'm into quiet luxury. Like, I don't like loud stuff.
Quiet luxury.
Yeah, quiet.
Please do explain. I don't understand that word,
Well,
quiet.
Quiet, I mean, I don't like a lot of patterns and stuff. I like sleek, solid colors.
Okay.
So, like, patterns and stuff are kind of out of my comfort zone. So,
I see.
yeah, so maybe in the future.
What about this pattern?
For jerseys are different. I'm talking about like a sweater or something, you know, or
Okay.
different things. But yeah, for the most part, I like to just be clean.
I would have laughed if you said you
Sleek.
didn't like this.
No, I do like it.
Thank you. I will actually ask you that question about, what was I going to say? Soccer jerseys.
Like my first ever one.
What are your favorite soccer jerseys, past, present?
Oh man,
Just knock off a few, and they'll probably show pictures of it on this podcast, hopefully, as reference. Sorry to give you more of a job.
Hopefully.
If you can explain it to me, just explain what they look like for all the listeners.
Well, the first jersey that came to mind was one of my first jerseys ever. Not one of my first, but one of my dad bought it for me. It was a Beckham jersey, Real Madrid. The 23 on the back. I think it says, sorry, I'm breaking stuff over. I think it said Siemens on the chest.
Oh, yes.
It was white. It had like a little like line through here.
I think I know exactly the one you're talking about.
Yeah, that was the first thing that came to my head. Second one I had, it was like the Total 90 Brazil jersey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The yellow one. The yellow, of course.
With
the classic with the
now
here,
I
and then
get
have the
these.
green like mesh in the back.
Yep.
There's that. Shoot, there's so many.
That yellow jersey was iconic.
I mean, it still is. I mean,
Everyone
that's
was
the canary
wearing it,
yellow. I think it's what it's called. I
Yeah.
forget what they call it.
Don't say it like you don't actually know what it is.
I don't know if it's canary. If
That
that's
rolled
what it's
off your
called.
tongue a little bit too easily.
But canary sounds like Norwich or something. I don't know.
Canary yellow is what it was, I think.
Oh well.
We'll just go with that.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, then eat me up in the
No
comments.
one
I
will
guess.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to look it up, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you like simple,
Simple.
classic.
It was just in that moment in time. I was like a young kid. I just remember just like opening up the jersey and seeing it. I was just ecstatic. So it was just some of that nostalgic feeling, as
Yeah.
well as that jersey was just super cool. Now it's like everyone's trying to go back to that retro look and trying to just recreate it. So it's like, how am I gonna like a jersey now that's recreated from something of the past? Why don't I just like the past one a little bit better?
Okay, he's a purist. He is a purist. Oh man, you said 23.
And I wear 23.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions. Is that the significance there? Like 23. Did you pick your number? Did you just happen to get it?
That was my first number ever in Dallas, and it's kind of just stuck with me throughout my whole career. Except for in Colorado, I wore number 10 for a couple of seasons.
Hey, that's my number.
There we go. It wasn't me though.
I know what you mean. There is a number that feels like you, and I was 6 for a while, 9 for a while,
Yeah.
but 10 just feels right.
There we go. I mean, for me growing up, I wore number 11. Number 11 was my number, and I kind of went astray from that because I was like a winger / attacking player, and I started drifting more towards the back line.
Yeah.
And then I wore number 6 a lot for national team. And then I debuted with the national team with number 16. And then I went to 23, which is the number I've been.
That's
most
the number.
places.
It feels
number.
like you.
Feels like me.
Okay. I like that.
Especially in Chicago, wearing 23 has a lot of significance.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. You know, we love our MJ here.
I felt it. So when I first got here, I went to a Bulls game. So I was doing a jersey swap with Alex Caruso. I know Alex very well. At time in LA, and over here, and now he's in Oklahoma. And so I gave him a Fire jersey with his number and his name, and he gave me a Bulls jersey with my number, or 23, and my last name on the back.
I love that.
But when they posted it, I was getting grilled.
What, the Chicagoans were grilling you?
Yeah.
Oh,
How can you have
no.
23 when it's a retired number? Who is this guy?
Oh, no.
I'm like, man.
I
they
apologize on the
really-
behalf.
They really love their MJ here.
No, like-
rightfully so. But I couldn't believe it. Like I was like, I'm just trying to enjoy the game, and I'm getting just absolutely fried
We
for
do.
having a jersey that for a number that I actually wear in a different sport. So
he doth not know what he does.
Right.
He is not from here.
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. This is his formal apology.
Yeah, I didn't say anything. I was just hoping it was going to get swept under the rug, but I guess we can just revisit it. It's almost the anniversary of the last time I got grilled by all of Chicago. So we're almost approaching that. I think we're like a month away from that.
Let's just re-anger everybody.
Yeah.
Wow.
Throwback to this day.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that happened.
It was actually kind of fun. I'm like, they're just passionate here.
You know what? What is it? There's no PR is bad. No press. No such thing as bad press. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
You're that guy.
I was that guy, apparently.
I guess. Speaking of like your numbers and your position on the field, I know you said you started. I mean, everybody starts by liking scoring goals. Tell me your journey as a player and the positions that you've played. You know, what led you to where you are now? Are you happy where you are now?
I am, yeah.
And what do you think changed? What do you think got better? Like, what do you think led you to where you are now?
And you're talking about positionally?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I grew up being a central midfielder
like
my whole life. And then in the academy, I played a little bit of a forward. I don't know why. I was just kind of just there. I scored some goals.
Yeah.
Youth national team, I was a midfielder. And then I don't know how I got put at outside back. I think someone got injured and the coaches happened to put me there. And I kind of just excelled at outside back. And it was an opportunity for me to play. And I just wanted to be on the field. And so from youth national team, from U14s all the way to U17s, I played right back and left back.
Really?
Yeah. And even on the senior team, I made my debut as a left back, and I played a number of games at left back. And debut for my club team, I played outside back. And it wasn't until like some years later I went back to central midfield, which is just my preferred position.
Where you finally had that, I don't know about you, but I had actually a kind of similar situation. Like I ended up in the back because someone got injured, and then I finally like got the confidence to ask to be in the middle again. Is that what happened there? Or was there just an opening?
I don't really know how it happened. I think it went from, I was just playing outside backs, playing, decently well. I was young. I was kind of just raw talent, just making my way through.
Making your way downtown.
Yeah, exactly that. And then my Coach Oscar Pereira, just put me back in the midfield one year, and then that was kind of all she wrote. I was just back in there, and I was like, thank the Lord.
Here we
are. Here we're back.
Yeah.
Shackles off. Let's go.
I love it. Cool. Okay, so I think we're going to take a little break to hear from our sponsors. And then when we come back, we'll talk more about, I don't know, everything.
Perfect.
Hello, everybody. We're back with Kellyn Acosta. We have some rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
This means...
Hopefully they're easy.
Quick.
Okay.
All right. First thing that comes to mind.
Pizza. No? Sounds good.
Anyways, who is a player, past or present, that you would avoid going back in time to play against?
Thierry Henry.
Say it one more time.
Thierry Henry.
Okay, sorry. I lost you in that whole, it sounded like one word. Who is the one player you would choose to go back in time to watch live?
Live? Ronaldinho.
Yeah, amen. What city would you choose to move to just to watch soccer games?
London. I can probably watch 20 different teams in one place.
That's so real. And you can watch it wherever. Who are the top 3 most impressive players you've faced in your life?
In terms of that game, or just like who they are?
That's up to you.
Messi, Neymar, Coutinho. Does that work?
Yeah, those are good answers. What is the best experience you've had traveling the world as a player? Any specific memory that stands out to you?
Probably going to Colombia.
What about it?
Just the whole experience from just being in a different country, different culture, getting exposed to that, playing against the Colombian national team, just hearing them sing the national anthem was pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
And just the whole culture aspect and the fruit juices there were really good.
The agua fresca.
Agua fresca. So yeah, somewhat of agua fresca, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, last one. Who is a leader or mentor you would go back in time to seek advice from?
Go back in time.
I mean, you could even just say someone from your past.
What if they're still in my present?
That could also work.
There's so many people. I mean, can I just name a few? Is that possible?
Absolutely.
I would say my old coach, Coach Z. I would say my dad, my mom, my grandparents, and then my current trainer, Aaron Bird.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah,
Got a lot of good mentors.
yeah,
We
I
did
do.
talk about
Good
that.
support system.
You do. Wow. Lucky you. You've recently launched the Kellyn Acosta Foundation. First of all, when did you launch it?
Oh man, I was in LA, so 3 years ago.
Okay.
Time is flying. 2
Yeah.
years, I think.
It really is.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So tell me about how that came into being and what your goals are for your organization.
Yeah, well, I just from my standpoint, I'm just used to abiding by what the club does and kind of tagging along on their different endeavors. And I'm thinking to myself, is like, why do I want to use my platform and start something about things that I want to do and what I want to accomplish and things that I wish I would have had or had access to. And so my mission is to serve underprivileged youth and underserved communities through sport and education, sport being soccer, and then obviously the educational piece. I want them to have more opportunities than just sport. It's a guideline and give them some structure, but not everyone can be a professional athlete, but it's to hopefully give them opportunities and have them know that they're better and bigger than their surroundings.
Yeah, they have value. And like you said, like not everyone's going to be a professional athlete, but sports has taught, I mean,
a lot of different things.
So much.
It's a draw people and pique people's interest. But I mean, for me, sport has brought me all over the world. I made a career out of it. I met some extraordinary people like yourself, and I've just gotten accustomed to different cultures and different traditions and different people from various backgrounds. And so it's been quite the journey that showed me my whole life essentially.
Yeah, I love that. What a cool, bold move that you're making also to make something, that's like not exactly part of the club that you're playing for. You're paving
Right.
your own path.
Exactly. I want soccer to be more accessible.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that you don't see as much is kids playing on the streets, having a safe place to play. And so my mission is to build soccer fields and places for kids to play. So right now I have a field that I built with the Chicago Foundation in Gage Park. We refurbished that whole field, so it's a safe place to play in Gage Park. I have a couple in LA and hopefully more to come, as I want to do some more here as I'm grounded more so. And I'm proud of myself on being present. I think that's the biggest thing. It's easy to give like a dollar amount or things like that, but it's more influential and positive of actually being present. And for me, I didn't have an athlete I could talk to or speak with and make it feel all real. So for me, I want to be there for kids and for kids to actually feel like this is something that they can do.
Yeah. I imagine a lot of your values and your missions with the foundation match Edgewater and our values. And I know some of Andrew and Tom's missions with the club. So
Correct.
Is that what kind of brought you?
Yeah, I think everything just came full circle. I mean, I knew I wanted to do things in Chicago. And then after speaking with Andrew, I mean, this is in line with my mission and just seeing how enthusiastic and positive he is. And I haven't had a chance to go up to Edgewater yet, but I will this upcoming year.
Okay, it's to be fair, it's far. I mean, where are you living right now?
I'm in Oak Brook.
Yeah, so
it's pretty far north, but I'm excited to make the trip up.
Yeah.
But just I just know just the whole community is so diverse.
Yes.
And so I think that's just so cool in itself, and just seeing the team, people from all different backgrounds and areas just coming together to play for a team. I think there's beauty in that, and it's something that I wanted to be a part of.
Yeah, I personally didn't know Edgewater existed 3 years ago. And I know we were talking about this a little earlier, like I'm nearing like the end of my career. Like I played college soccer. I played with the Honduran national team for a short period of time, and it's just been such a amazing experience and opportunity for me to play 11v11 again, which I didn't know existed anymore at my age. I say my age, like I'm almost 31, so now I'm like, I feel like I'm spent. But it's given me this, there's something that you can't recreate, like the community aspect of playing for a team.
Yeah, that joy and being part of a team, that camaraderie, that excitement of scoring goals, assisting, if you will, and just being part, like just having that whole like locker room feel. I think once you like get out of it, you kind of you miss those interactions and having that that sisterhood or that brotherhood that you once had, or once you've been accustomed to that throughout your whole life. So having that back is huge.
Yeah, it's exciting, and I'm excited that it seems like you're really just getting started with Edgewater.
I am
excited to see what you intend to do and how you intend to stay connected with the club. I know that Lotto and you and Edgewater may be forming an alliance together.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of cool things. No pun intended. A lot of cool things in the future. So everyone should be staying tuned, and I think it's going to be an exciting year. I'm excited. I think the first game is not for some time. I'm glad it's gonna be a little bit warmer, but
yeah, we got some time.
Got some time, but no, I'm excited for the first game in the next some months, and it's gonna be a great season.
It is. I have one more question for you to leave us off with. What advice would you give to young people who want to make a difference in their communities?
I think no job is too small. I think the first thing is to act upon it. I think a lot of the times we as people, we have big ideas and want to do so many things, but we don't actually execute. So I think first part of it is to get out there and do things. And
yes.
And I think that's the first step. And I think that's the advice. It's whether it's helping out your local shelter, whether it's even a neighbor, or I think from my standpoint, there's no job that's too small. I think it's
the first step is the first step.
The first step is the first step, and that's help someone at some capacity. It's putting others above yourself, and I think if more people can accomplish that, I think we'll have a better community for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you. That was very thoughtful response. I know I kind of put you on the spot there.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah. Well, thank you again so much for being here. It was a genuine pleasure getting to know you and your background, and that you're not Puerto Rican.
That's right.
And just thank you for getting connected with Edgewater and being a part of this. I know we are so excited to welcome you into our community, and very excited to see what's next for not only your time with Edgewater, but also with the Fire and your season coming up here. And very jealous that you're going to be going to Florida and California.
I'm sorry. I'll send a postcard, but
please.
But thank you for having me. This has been awesome to chatting with you, connecting with you, and talk all things of my life, career, journey, and touching a little bit on Edgewater. As you can see, got the whole setup here, amazing. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a great year for everyone. Myself personally, from the Fire and things I'm doing off the field to Edgewater, growing as a whole. I'm excited for 2025, and let's like in Texas, get her done. Like we say in Texas,
let's get her done.
Get her done.
All right, and before we go, I wanted to gift you something from Edgewater Castle. It is a Caden McGreevy original Edgewater Castle game day poster.
Oh, this is amazing.
There you go.
This is well done. This is from, it's like the game day.
Yes, a game day poster.
Oh, this is cool.
Why don't you show everybody?
This is super cool. Versus Green Bay Glory.
Mm-hmm. I think that was a men's game because we don't play against them.
This is sweet.
All right, you guys, thank you so much. He will be hanging that on his wall.
I will.
Above his bed.
On the ceiling, so when I wake up, it's the first thing I see.
Yes. Live, eat, breathe, Edgewater Castle.
That's right. That's the motto.
You. Yeah. The Lotto motto.
The Lotto motto.
Thank you so much for coming here today. Hopefully we'll see you very soon.
Indeed we will.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Ahoy there! Thank you for listening to Stone by Stone, an Edgewater Castle podcast. Be sure to listen to our next episode, or better yet, subscribe to our channels on YouTube, where you can find video versions of our episodes, Spotify, Apple Music, or anywhere else you get your podcast fix. We'll have a lot of exciting new content coming up throughout the year, and we want you to stay along for the ride. In fact, you should probably just follow us on all social media platforms also. You know, just to be safe. And with that, I leave you be. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for supporting the club, listening to the podcast, and as per usual, go Rooks.